Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. May peace and blessings be upon you all. Welcome to Day 2 of Islamic Awareness Week. My name is Jihad, and I will be your host tonight. Islamic Awareness Week is an annual event hosted by the MSA. The week consists of a series of lectures and activities organized by the MSA to increase awareness of the beliefs, values, and practices of Muslims all over the world. Through this, we hope to reduce misconceptions about the world's second largest religion. Before we start tonight's event, we will have a short Quranic recitation and translation by Brother Zahid Siddiqui.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقاتلوا في سبيل الله الذين يقاتلونكم ولا تعتدوا إن الله لا يحب المعتدين واقتلوهم حيث ثقفتموهم وأخرجوهم من حيث أخرجوكم والفتنة أشد من القتل ولا تقاتلوهم عند المسجد الحرام حتى يقاتلوكم فيه فإن قاتلوكم فاقتلوهم كذلك جزاء الكافرين فإن انتهوا فإن الله غفور رحيم وقاتلوهم حتى لا تكون فتنة ويكون الدين لله فإن انتهوا فلا عدوان إلا على الظالمين. صلى الله عليه وسلم. Enemy of Allah, the merciful, the most merciful, the most beneficent. And fight in the way of Allah with those who fight with you, and do not exceed the limits. Surely Allah does not love those who exceed the limits. And kill them whenever you find them, and drive them out from whence they drove you out. And persecution is severer than slaughter, and do not fight with them at the sacred mosque until they fight with you in it. But if they do not fight you, then slay them. Such is the requisition of the unbelievers. But if they detest, then surely Allah is forgiving, merciful, and fight with them until there is no persecution, and religion should be only for Allah. But if they detest, then there should be no hostility except against the oppressors.
Jazakallah khairan for your beautiful recitation. So what is jihad? Is it a struggle for peace, or is it a threat to the West? The Arabic word jihad can be translated as struggle or effort, but in the West, the word is generally understood as a holy war. Jihad is considered to be every Muslim's duty, whether it's the struggle to effect positive social change, prevent the exploitation of the poor, or simply the struggle to improve one's own character. Today, our guest speaker, Saliha Jabin, will help us understand the concept of jihad in Islam. Saliha Jabin is a representative of CARE Chicago, a Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization that has developed into one of the most notable non-profit civil rights offices of its kind anywhere in the United States. And without further ado, please help me in welcoming Saliha Jabin.
Peace be upon you all. Let me pull up the PowerPoint before I go ahead. Okay. First of all, I am an intern at CARE Chicago, and I'm an outreach intern, and majorly a part of my jihad just kind of backing track. How many of us over here have heard of the word jihad, or have something to say about jihad, or have a Muslim friend at least? Yay, it's going to be an easy one. Okay. How many would relate jihad with violence? That's the understanding you probably have of it. Raise your hands. Great. This is a win-win situation anyways then. Okay. Jihad, as Sister had explained, the word itself can be a noun or a verb. Noun meaning, a word meaning to struggle. Struggle in the way of God. That's how it's been understood in the Islamic thought. Struggling in the way of God with a moral compass. That's the key with jihad. What it means to Muslims, mainstream majority Muslims. So, why is it in the media, why do we have a negative connotation of jihad? Why do you think people usually relate to jihad with violence? Have we questioned ourselves? Do you have anything to say about that? I'm just going to ask a few questions and then dive into the presentations. Yeah, go for it. Anything. Okay. Personally, I'm an Indian. I've been living in the US for 6 years, and every time I've met Americans or people who are not very much familiar with Islam tend to have passivity towards Islam in terms of how it being a peaceful religion. That's what I've seen, and then it put me on a journey of learning more about Islam as a Muslim myself. So what I understand is there's a lot of ignorance with relations to Islam. Therefore, the hate or misrepresentation of Islam and Muslims is out there in America. That's what I came to an understanding. With my theological education and interning it here, what I've come to understand is that through media, we can either make an image or break an image. So therefore, the whole My Jihad campaign it's definitely a response to the hate against religion or certain set of Muslims or certain demographics. Can you guys hear me now? I'm sorry, I thought I was being loud enough. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's just get into the presentation. So, My Jihad campaign. That's the definition that you might find when you talk to a Muslim who believes in Islam, who can be termed as a mainstream moderate Muslim. Jihad, it's a noun, as I said, it can be a verb as well. Verb meaning to practice this whole struggle in the way of God towards a constructive purpose. It is for justice, it is to serve people, it is to serve mankind, with an ultimate goal of pleasing God, where we all come from. That's what jihad really means. Definitely it can take a physical form of struggle, but it can only be in the form of self-defense. And you need to follow certain universal code of conduct to do jihad. And it's kind of surprising that the US Constitution has the same kind of set of rules and regulations, the amendments, which support when you've been attacked, what are the rules that you follow, and then how you defend yourself, your own country or your own people from being attacked. That is exactly what the physical form of jihad in Islam means. That has been misrepresented or miscarried, that had been negatively brought to the West through, say, extreme Muslims who believe in taking words literally or having their own conclusions of this very interpretive scripture of Islam or the Abrahamic faith tradition, which is highly scriptural in nature. So these extremists, the ones who take completely any tenet of Islam on a very literalist basis, they tend to use this whole concept of fighting in the way of God, pulling verses out of context. Like if you would have focused on the beautiful verses that are being recited by one of our brothers here, it has something like that. If I, as a non-Muslim, heard that, or not only non-Muslim, even as a Muslim who does not understand the whole context behind the Quran, certain Quranic verses, or why it was being revealed the way it was, and it just go by literal sense of it, I would also jump on it and say, yeah, it just means kill the non-believers, or fight in the way of God, conquer, all those things. Those are the tenets that the extremists, be that on the Muslim side or outside the Muslim community, they tend to pick on that kind of nature and go about mystifying not only jihad, as well as many other tenets of Islam or any other ideologies that concerns. The spiritual jihad, that's the kind of jihad we, as a part of the My Jihad campaign, we're trying to focus on that. And we have different examples to portray. These are just a list of the spiritual jihad that you can see. But that's the whole motto of My Jihad campaign, to send across this message of the whole spiritual aspect of jihad, which is the higher jihad, or the jihad with the Prophet, peace be upon him. He had asked the community of Muslims to be practicing all their life. And we all do that. It's just that we don't come out saying like, yes, this is my jihad, I'm going to go to my school with this mindset of getting a degree to do better for my community, to do better for myself, to follow my passion, to contribute to the society or myself, or a country that I belong to, representing it. That's the jihad that I'm doing, but I don't go out saying, Allah, this is my jihad, I'm going to do it, I'm going to college every morning. No, but that is a jihad. It is a jihad for many of us who have to go for the early morning classes, but in a cold day, you don't want to do that. Fighting this whole weakness of being under the comforter, just coming out to know that yes, this class means something to me. I committed to this class and I need to go with it, see through it, with an ambition of getting successfully out of the college. That is a jihad that I'm doing, but you don't say it. Therefore, that's the jihad we come out with through the My Jihad campaign. And it's been shown through different ads, which I'll show in a minute. Also, yeah. And I would love to go through the hadith, the tradition of the Prophet, and then the certain Quranic ayahs with the verses which talk about jihad and whatnot, but there's a clear notion here that with the My Jihad campaign, we are not getting into a scholarly debate here. We are not trying to teach people what Quran says. We're not trying to teach how the verse can be interpreted, how many school of thought say what about it, how many extremists say what about it. No. It's about what